guys, this is Cheeky Chipmunks coming at you with another video. I thought I would tackle Erased. Now, I know everyone's been talking about it. It seems to be the hype series right now. But I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents on it. Now, let's start with the story. The basics of the story is you've got this guy called Satoru, and he has the ability to revive, which means he can go 5 minutes before a disaster happens, and he's trying to, save someone's life. So, for example, I don't know, you might be running over by a truck, 5 minutes, comes back and he gets you out of the way. And the basics is, at one of the first episodes, he goes right back, further than he's ever been, to help out and try and find out what happened to some classmates, one of them being this girl Kayo, who's very kind of mysterious in the show at the start, and figure out what happened and try and stop it, basically. And first of all, the pros with the story, overall the pace was pretty good. I felt towards the end maybe it slowed down a little bit, but the cliffhangers were very good as well. They kept you genuinely wanting to keep on watching. It didn't end where it was too clear. So there were little nagging questions, and I like how it was kept on building up and building up. I did really like the relationship between Kayo and Satoru. Felt quite realistic. It didn't feel too over dramatized. You could see they generally did want to help each other, and could see that they were, in a way, both the same, because they see they're putting on an act, and they finally get to sort of get closer and closer, which I really liked. Felt very good, and overall the kind of relationships with Satoru's friends as well felt quite cool. Felt genuine, felt like kids, what they would talk about, like games and that. So I digged that, and I would say that the whole, just seeing him trying to figure out who the killer is very intriguing, because I like how he had his mind, his 32-year-old mind, in this kid's body, so he was kind of thinking like an adult, although he's a little kid, and it was very cleverly combined, especially when sort of his adult thoughts sometimes said him accidentally, which is really cool. And I do like sort of overall the mystery element. I do think the villain in the show, although he was still quite good, I felt first of all he could have been better if he'd gone into more of a reason why he did all this. I feel it was a bit vague. And also, if you've watched the show, there's a lot of foreshadowing, and I feel like they drag it on a little bit, like with the analytical mind he has, like Satoru. I feel like he should have figured it out sooner. I get he maybe didn't want to. He didn't want to really think, oh no, so-and-so can't be the killer. But even when the killer was revealed, I did like the battle of just trying to put him away. And it was really, really well done, the last scene, I think on the episode before the last episode. Now the ending was okay. I would think it was a bit anticlimactic. I get why it got away with it because there was a reason. I just felt the reason was a bit convenient. I still quite enjoyed it overall, and I think the story overall is quite good, but I do feel the ending could have been done better and maybe a bit more less happy. I think it could have maybe been a bit more edgy, maybe, or just a bit more of a punch to it, Now, in terms of the art and the animation, I love the art style. I think the art style was very detailed, especially the environments. There's one bit where there's a beautifully animated and designed tree scene where these Satoru and Kayo are underneath this tree. It's got all beautiful lights on it, and it's just like a snowy landscape all around. Love it. And some of the shots in this also very good at creating the tension with kind of the way it moves about. And the colour use was very good as well. They always had this whole thing of red, red, negative, and it used quite good to throw you off sometimes and kind of do very strong imagery, especially with Kayo's kind of abuse at home, which I like that as well. I liked how, although it wasn't much, at least they gave Kayo's mother kind of a bit of backstory, which explained a bit why maybe she's so abusive. Could have maybe done it with a bit more. But back to the animation, I found the animation very nice and grounded. It wasn't over-exaggerated, which I think would have worked in shows not favouring, negatively. It would have just not worked in its favour at the end of the day because of the tone of the show. It's very dark at the end of the day. And that's why I think it's good that it's stuck to this more grounded animation style. We're very cool, the emotions were still crystal clear. facial animation is very nice. Some of the like movement animations and kind of just in general when the kids are playing about is quite smooth as well. And I would say when you see the the killer's reveal, his little old grin, it is terrifying. Proper looks sinister, and I do like how they did paint certain characters with their art, so made them look more ominous in a very cleverly well done way. I gotta say that. So overall, I really did like the art and the animation. It suited the show, and the character design as well was quite clear, and still felt varied, but without being over exaggerated again, which would have taken us out of the experience. I feel like on the show. Now, I think also the music was awesome. I did like the music. I would say the only song I truly remember is the opening. The opening and closing song were very good. I mean, I still listen to that opening song once in a while because I think it is awesome. And I did really like the ending song as well. Quite calm and relaxed. A bit of a contrast. I do feel the music in the show suited it. It was no out of place music in that regard. I do feel like maybe anything other than the opening and the closing is kind of forgettable, but I would probably have to watch it again just to kind of really say that for sure. Now, in terms of the characters as well, I was saying about Sato and Kaio, their kind of bond was very well done. I did like seeing Satoru change. You know, he became more of a person who was actually like became more connected with like his mum, his friends, and you felt him grow to less of a like detached person and became more human, I guess, more involved, you know, and which I really do like. And you could see him getting just a bit more connected and getting deeper inside himself, and it helps you see at the end with his manga work, because he was a manga artist, and it's just way better because he's gone through these whole events and kind of almost had a little bit of a revelation. And I really did like that. I like the relationship between the mum and Satoru. It felt like a genuine mum. Like it was a good balance of being loving, but also being kind of, you know, bossy. It felt like a mum with a bossiness, being kind, but also like putting her foot down. And it was quite cool because she helped definitely helped Satoru with trying to frame Kaio's mum, you know, for kind of the stuff she was doing. So overall, quite a cool character. I would say again, Killer is really the main one I think should have had more of an expansion on my character and why they were doing what they were doing. But overall, the characters I did quite like. No characters which really annoyed me, which is always a good sign. Overall, guys, Erased is a very good show. It has its problems. I do feel like some of the problems I overlooked and it was a bit overhyped. But I would still say it's worth watching because it is still a very genuinely exciting little mystery. Even when you find out the killer is, it's like, okay, now he knows, what's he going to do about it? I do feel like the ending was slightly rushed, but despite that, I did thoroughly enjoy the show while I was watching it, and I probably would watch it again. So that's my review on Erased, guys. I'll try and get a video to you as soon as possible. Watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now, halfway through July and April. So maybe one of those will be my next video. But have a great day, guys, and enjoy the rest.